phone here with a relatively new customer, Greg, who's going to tell you a little bit about his setup. He's had an EcoSat for about 6 weeks now. So hello, Greg.
Hello, Chris. Thanks.
No worries. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yep. So we've got my wife and I, we're a partnership. We have a farm in Southern New South Wales in the Riverina. It's just an average size. We run sheep, no cattle, and do some cropping. Yeah.
All right, very good. Thanks, Greg. And tell us, which EcoSat product do you have?
Well, we bought the blue one, and I guess the reason I picked the blue one, well, based on the information I'd looked at, it was available for a 3G and 4G network, which we have here. We have good phone service here almost everywhere.
Right, okay, all right, very good. And what made you look at remote monitoring?
So we're lucky enough to have a town water connection, even though we're quite a distance from the town. Right. But of course, we only have 1 metre, so we've only got one connection, and we use that water for all the stock water on the whole farm. So we have several tanks that we fill with it, and then the water gravitates out to all the troughs. But right. The effort of monitoring, well, certainly the first tank that we fill is a daily, almost twice daily type job, especially when there's a lot of demand on the watering system. So right. The idea of a remote or an automatic system was very appealing, to make life easier, to save me time,
right,
cut out a bit of stress.
Right, okay. And how come you looked at it this year? Have you looked at it before?
I'd not looked closely before, but I was aware of them. But this year we employ a person, and we were going away for a few weeks. And of course, for that person to maintain the water over the weekends when they're not working means they have to be out here nearly all the bloody time. They've got to come out and check the tank, and they've got to turn the tap on, and then they've got to turn it off. And
right.
So we thought it made it easier for everyone, not only ourselves, but also anyone else who we might be employing. They can also manage the system remotely when they're not required to be here on the farm themselves.
Right, okay. And did you check it as well while you were away?
Oh, yes. Well, when I got it, it was quite a novel little gadget. So yeah, it was like getting a new Christmas present. I was checking it all the bloody time. Yeah, no, it was terrific. And then okay. So we were 7 or 8 hours away, and I was checking the water level just because I could. Mm. But meanwhile, the guy looking after the farm, he was also checking the water level.
Right.
And yeah, no, it was fabulous, actually. Yeah.
So what was it about the EcoSat product that finally convinced you to buy?
Ooh. I think I liked the look of it. It looked very robust and compact and quite simple, quite basic.
Yeah.
It looked quite easy and simple to install, and talking with yourself, Chris, and your other staff, and the information that was provided, it seemed to me there was quite a good support network behind the EcoSat.
Right. Okay.
It looks like your company, you've been operating, I believe, these things for quite a long time now, so you're not new in the game.
Right, okay, all right.
Yep, that's about it, I think.
So when you were first looking for a remote monitoring solution, how did you go about sort of finding out, which products were available and finding out more about those sort of products? Did you mostly just sort of search the internet, or did you sort of do a bit of ring around, or?
Just mostly, good old Mr. Google. I started with him.
Right.
And then the chap that does our agronomy work, he also had been investigating products as well. So between the two of us, we basically looked on Google and then contacted different suppliers and just worked out a plan. I don't know of anyone else in this area who have this equipment at this point.
Right.
So, pretty well just, made our decisions by the information available and then by talking to you guys and other providers.
Right, okay. And how did you decide? So you decided on the EcoSAT Blue for any particular reason. You mentioned that it's because you had mobile coverage. Was there any other features that appealed to you?
Well, it's got the advantage, I think, that we can have we can run other gadgets like other tank monitoring jobs. It can talk to other things. So I suppose the main reason was, it worked with 3G and 4G, so it suited mobile phone coverage, which was good for us.
Right. And how did you know that did you just find out from the website that the Blue was the one that had the 3G, 4G coverage, or how did you decide, I suppose, that the Blue was the product that had all those features that you needed?
Well, there was good information on the website. It said that because there's several different models, and it was the one that showed the 3G, 4G coverage, so it looked like the one that would do the job. And then talking to you EcoSat guys, you sort of reassured me what it could do and what the others couldn't do for me but could do for other people. So,
right.
I guess a combination of reading the information and also talking to you guys as well.
Right, okay. So once you received the equipment, how did you go about installing it, and roughly how long did it take?
It didn't really take long to install. Because we put in an extra valve, we had to, you could screw it to the top of the tank, but because we wanted to have it close to the valve that was operating, I put a post in for it to sit on top of, which was recommended by you guys.
Right, so you cemented in a steel post?
Yeah, I concreted in a post that's nice and solid, and I think I'll even probably put a guard around it, because you can be pretty certain that some ram will go in there and rub his arse on it and bust it. So I figured you want to put something in I wanted to put something in fairly solid right from the start. You could have just bashed a steel post in, I reckon, and got away with that.
Right.
But yeah, so, it took, a half an hour to dig the hole and concrete the post in.
Okay.
And then probably, 15 minutes or so to mount it on the top and run your little cords across. So, an hour and a half of mucking around, and it was up and in and ready to go.
Right, okay. And how do you go about finding out your tank levels and any other sensors that are attached? Do you have a preference? Do you use the apps or the website, or what do you do?
Oh, I just look on the phone.
So you use the app?
Well, I use the app, yes.
Right.
Yes, sorry, the little app on the phone. Once we got it up and running and we'd made some adjustments on the computer site, right. After that I haven't looked at that website for probably 6 weeks now.
And when you were doing that, how did you find it? So did you have anything specific that you wanted in terms of alarms or notifications, and how did you find setting that side of it up?
Right, so once again, because we've only got that 1 metre, my wife and I, it also supports the house and a little bit of garden we have, so there's always a bit of competition over who's got the tap on when. So I was able we could put in a time slot when we can have the tank filling, and then a time slot when the water's available, for other uses, even boom spray filling or fire truck filling maybe. So, yeah, we could use that. That was good, actually. We could sort of set that up to suit what we wanted.
Right.
On the website there.
Right. Okay. So now that you have an EcoSat, how many times have you gone up to check the tank? You mentioned that it was possibly a twice-a-day job. Since you've installed the EcoSat, how many times have you travelled up to the tank to check it?
Once we got it working, and actually once I got it working after the first time, I haven't been up there since, apart from to maybe a couple of checks to make sure, you know, things weren't leaking and that. But apart from that, no, I haven't been back up there. And I don't know. I hardly look at the app anymore either now, because it basically turns itself on and off, you know, doing its thing, and then it's going. If something starts to go wrong, it's going to tell me anyway. So I hardly.
Right.
I'm starting to actually forget about it.
Okay. Okay.
A little.
That's good.
Not forget about it, but yeah, like, you know, you're starting to relax and trust it, and yeah.
Yep. So all in all, taking into account the cost of the actual EcoSat Blue as well as the ongoing monthly fees, how do you find the ongoing monthly fees and the overall sort of value for money for the EcoSat?
Well, I didn't mind the cost of it. I thought, yeah, no, that's fair enough. I wasn't expecting, because I'm probably not up to speed really with this sort of stuff, I wasn't expecting a monthly fee until I talked to you guys. But, of course, that has to happen. Yeah, I mean, everyone has monthly fees. And so when you look at the cost of the monthly fee and work it out just over the time it saves you, like it's not very much at all. Like, I think your monthly fee is about $20 a month. Well, I mean, to employ someone, you can't get someone to work for $20 an hour.
Right.
So, you know, it's quite cheap.
So overall, you'd say you're happy with the EcoSat and you'd recommend it to anyone?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm happy with it. And yes, I would. If someone else asked me about it, I would recommend it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I'd recommend you guys. So I think the support you guys have provided has been excellent.
Great.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it's made it easy.
All right. Well, thanks very much for your time, Greg. That's great.
No worries.